On August 15, 1977, at 10:16 p.m., a radio telescope in Ohio detected something that should not exist. For 72 seconds, the universe whispered a message so powerful, so perfectly structured, that one astronomer circled it in red pen and wrote a single word that would haunt science forever: wow. We've been listening to the cosmos for over 60 years, scanning billions of radio frequencies, searching for any sign that we are not alone in this vast universe. Most of what we hear is noise. Cosmic static. The natural radio emissions of planets, stars, and galaxies doing what they've done for billions of years. But sometimes, just once, the universe sends something different. Something that makes scientists question everything they thought they knew. Something that, nearly 50 years later, still has no explanation. This is the story of the most famous 72 seconds in the history of radio astronomy. This is the story of the signal that changed everything. And nothing. All at once. Part 1. The discovery. The Big Ear radio telescope sat on a quiet stretch of farmland in Delaware, Ohio. It wasn't glamorous. Two massive concrete reflectors, each over 300 feet long, pointed permanently at the sky, waiting. Waiting for what? Nobody quite knew. The telescope was designed for one purpose: to map the radio sky, to catalog the natural emissions of celestial objects. It was systematic work. Patient work. The kind of science that happens in the background, far from headlines and fame. Jerry Emmon was a volunteer astronomer for the SETI project, the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. His job was simple but tedious: review the endless printouts of radio data, look for anything unusual, anything that might suggest artificial origin. Most nights, it was just numbers. Endless streams of numbers representing the intensity of radio signals at different frequencies. But on that August night, something extraordinary happened. The telescope's receivers were tuned to a very specific frequency, 1420 MHz. This wasn't random. This frequency, known as the hydrogen line, is special. Hydrogen is the most abundant element in the universe, and it naturally emits radiation at exactly this frequency. Scientists had long theorized that any civilization advanced enough to communicate across space would understand this. They would know this frequency. And if they wanted to send a message, this is exactly where they would send it. At 10:16 p.m., the printout machine at Big Ear began printing something strange. A sequence of characters, 6EQUJ5. Not random noise. Not static. This was a signal. A narrow-band transmission, concentrated at the hydrogen line frequency, rising dramatically in intensity, then falling away just as quickly. 72 seconds. That's all it lasted. Jerry Emmon saw it hours later, reviewing the printout. He circled the sequence in red pen. His hand shook slightly as he wrote one word in the margin. Wow! What had Big Ear detected? Part 2. The investigation begins. The news spread quickly through the small community of radio astronomers. A strong, narrow-band signal. At the hydrogen line. From the direction of the constellation Sagittarius. Lasting exactly 72 seconds. Every characteristic pointed to one conclusion: this could be artificial. This could be them. But science demands proof. Not excitement. Not hope. Proof. The first question was obvious: could it be repeated? If this was a genuine transmission from another civilization, surely it would happen again. The sky is vast, but patterns repeat. Stars rotate. Signals recur. Astronomers pointed every available telescope at that section of sky. They waited. They listened. Nothing. They kept listening. Days turned into weeks. Weeks into months. The Big Ear telescope itself scanned that region dozens more times. Other radio telescopes around the world joined the search. Silence. The signal never returned. This created a problem. A massive problem. In science, reproducibility is everything. If you can't repeat an observation, if you can't verify it independently, you can't prove it's real. You can't publish it. You can't build on it. All you have is 72 seconds of data and a circled printout. Part 3. The explanations. Over the decades, scientists have proposed dozens of explanations for the WOW signal. Each one more creative than the last. And each one incomplete. Theory 1. It was a natural astronomical phenomenon. Perhaps a comet. Perhaps a previously unknown type of stellar emission. Perhaps something we don't yet understand about the physics of neutron stars or black holes. Problem: no known natural process creates a narrow band signal at exactly 1420 MHz with that intensity profile. Comets were ruled out definitively in 2016 when astronomers showed that no comet was in the right position at the right time. Theory 2. It was human interference. A military satellite. A secret transmission. Reflection of Earth-based signals bouncing off space debris. Problem: the signal came from space, not Earth. Its characteristics don't match any known human technology from 1977 or since. And if it was human-made, why has it never been detected again? Theory 3. It was a computer glitch. A malfunction in the telescope's receivers. A software error. Problem: the Big Ear telescope was checked thoroughly. The equipment was functioning normally. The signal's characteristics match what a genuine extraterrestrial transmission should look like. Theory 4. And here's where it gets interesting. It was real. It was artificial. It was them. And they stopped transmitting. Or, they transmitted in a pattern we haven't yet recognized. Or the signal was so powerful and directional that it only hit Earth once, like a lighthouse beam sweeping past our planet. Or perhaps, and this is the most unsettling possibility, they're still transmitting. But we're not listening in the right place. At the right time. On the right frequency. Part 4. The search continues. The WOW signal didn't end the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. It transformed it. Before August 15, 1977, SETI was fringe science. After the WOW signal, it became complicated. Because now we knew. Or thought we knew. Or at least couldn't rule out the possibility. Modern radio telescopes are infinitely more sensitive than Big Ear. The Allen Telescope Array in California. FAST in China. The Square Kilometre Array being built in South Africa. These instruments can detect signals 1,000,000 times weaker than what Big Ear detected. They've found nothing. Nothing like the WOW signal, anyway. We've discovered fast radio bursts, mysterious millisecond duration pulses from distant galaxies. We've detected thousands of exoplanets, worlds orbiting other stars. We've found organic molecules in interstellar space, the building blocks of life scattered throughout the galaxy. But no signal. No message. Number 6 EQUJ5. So what do we make of this? 47 years of silence following 72 seconds of something. Let's examine what we actually know. Not what we suspect. Not what we hope. What the data tells us. The signal was real. This is not disputed. The Big Ear telescope detected a genuine radio emission. The question is, what caused it? Dr. Robert Gray, who has studied the WOW signal more extensively than perhaps anyone, calculated the probability of such a signal occurring by random chance. The odds are astronomical. Less than 1 in a trillion. The signal's intensity profile matches exactly what you would expect from a source in deep space. It rose smoothly, peaked, then fell smoothly. This is the signature of the telescope's beam pattern sweeping past a fixed point in the sky as Earth rotated. The frequency is significant. 1420 MHz is not just the hydrogen line. It's also protected by international treaty. No Earth-based transmitter is allowed to broadcast on this frequency. It's reserved for radio astronomy. For listening. Not transmitting. So if it wasn't human interference, what was it? Astrophysicist Antonio Paris proposed in 2016 that the signal came from a hydrogen cloud surrounding a comet. This theory was widely publicized and thoroughly debunked by other astronomers who showed the math didn't work. The comets weren't in the right position. The signal was too strong. The frequency too precise. Here's what's most troubling to scientists: the energy required. For a signal to be detectable from another star system, it would need to be incredibly powerful. Orders of magnitude more powerful than anything humanity has ever transmitted. A deliberate beacon, broadcasting across the galaxy. Or a highly directional transmission, aimed precisely at our solar system. Which raises its own questions. If it was aimed at us, how did they know we were here? How did they know to aim at Earth specifically? The signal came from the direction of the Sagittarius constellation. That's toward the center of our galaxy. Toward the densest concentration of stars. But also, toward thousands of potential planetary systems. Dr. Jill Tarter, one of the founders of modern SETI, has said, "The WOW signal is the most intriguing candidate we have. But one swallow does not make a summer. One signal does not make contact. We need more data. We need repetition. We need verification. But what if there is no repetition? What if that was it? One message. 72 seconds. Never to be repeated. What would that mean? Here's the truth that keeps astronomers awake at night. The WOW signal might be the most important scientific observation in human history. Or it might be nothing at all. And we may never know which. Think about that. In 1977, we may have received our first message from another civilization. A hello across the stars. A signal saying, "We are here, you are not alone." Or we may have detected a natural phenomenon we don't yet understand, waiting for future science to explain. Both possibilities are equally profound. If it was artificial, then somewhere out there, someone was transmitting. Someone knew, or hoped, or dreamed that someone else might be listening. They sent a message across the unimaginable distances of space. And for 72 seconds, we heard it. And then, silence. Why? Did their transmitter fail? Did they stop broadcasting? Did they move? Did they cease to exist? Or was it a one-time transmission? A cosmic lighthouse beam that swept past Earth once and will never return? But if it was natural, then we've discovered something new about the universe. A phenomenon that creates intense, narrow-band radio emissions at the hydrogen line. Something rare. Something we've only seen once in 50 years of searching. What could do that? What natural process creates such a perfect, artificial-looking signal? We don't know. And that's the real story of the WOW signal. Not that we detected something mysterious, but that nearly 50 years later, we still can't explain it. We've built more sensitive telescopes, developed sophisticated algorithms, scanned billions of frequencies, monitored thousands of stars. And the most promising signal we've ever detected remains a one-time event. 72 seconds that changed everything. And nothing. All at once. Maybe they're still out there. Still transmitting. And we're just not listening properly. Or maybe, just maybe, we're truly alone. And that single signal was a ghost. A cosmic coincidence. A reminder that the universe is full of mysteries we may never solve. But here's what the WOW signal taught us. The universe is speaking. It's always speaking. We just need to learn how to listen. And more importantly, we need to keep listening. Because the next signal might not last 72 seconds. It might last 72 milliseconds. And if we're not paying attention, we'll miss it. So what do you think caused the WOW signal? Was it our first contact with extraterrestrial intelligence? A natural phenomenon we don't understand? Something else entirely? Drop your theory in the comments below. Seriously, I read every single one, and some of your ideas are genuinely fascinating. If this mystery captivated you the way it captivated me, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Because next week, we're diving into another unsolved cosmic mystery. Until then, keep looking up. Keep wondering. And remember, somewhere out there, the universe is whispering its secrets. We just need to listen.